Hi everyone. It's been a little while since I uploaded anything. I got seriously, very seriously sick. I am medically fragile, and the wheelchair is something that you can see, but I have so many things that you can't see. And so things got messy. I have a blood condition where I am ANA positive. ANA just means anti-nuclear antibodies, and in my blood they are always elevated. So everybody has ANAs. Their purpose is to fight off colds and things when you get sick that are foreign to the body. That is what their purpose is. And that's in every person has them. When you're ANA positive, they don't act properly. So they tend to attack me, even if I'm not sick. So I might get a weird sore in my mouth, or sometimes bruising that I can't explain, but it compromises my immune system. So I am autoimmune and immunocompromised, and because of that, my ANAs don't function properly. When I get sick, I go big or go home, and that's exactly what happened. So usually ANAs, if you're researching it, lead to things like lupus or connective tissues disorders. I don't have that. It is possible to just be ANA positive without those things, and that's me. So if you're researching and to be educated, I welcome you to research. If you have questions about anything that I'm talking about, please leave them in the comments. I got sick. There were a lot of different things going on. I went to Mama's for the weekend, like I typically do. And when I went there, I had just this little dry cough. Nothing to worry about. I took a rapid antigen COVID test to be absolutely certain, and I did not test positive for COVID. Good, so we're safe. Well, by overnight, things got worse. Within 24 hours, I was more sick than I could imagine. It got really bad, really, really fast. So I did a second rapid antigen COVID test. Again, it came back negative, but something was definitely wrong. It sure felt like COVID. I've had it twice, and it definitely felt like COVID-19, but it wasn't. I didn't have body aches. I had full body pain and just could not get comfortable no matter what I did. The coughing was now severe and productive, and I was having difficulty breathing. I was going from freezing cold to the point of numb hands to sweating to the point of sweating from my eyelids. Did not know you could sweat from there, but I learned that apparently you can. So I'm laying on the bed that I usually sleep in there, and one of my cats, Callie, comes with me. So she's snuggling there with me, and I'm laying there, but I can't breathe. I'm coughing up to the point of paroxysms. Now, a paroxysm is just a chain of reflexes. So when a normal person coughs, they just, and it only shows in their face. Well, this cough was so severe that it sent a chain of reflexes, so my entire body folded into itself and was shaking. It very well could mimic a seizure, and I do have those, but it wasn't. I was awake. I was aware. It was paroxysmal, for sure. It happens when I laugh, when I sneeze, when anything. My whole body just goes with me, and I don't have control over that. So that was happening. And finally, when my rescue inhalers weren't working, I had to tell Mama, it's time. I have to go to the hospital. something is wrong. And she's like, no, 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 it's just a flu. You're like you're fine. You just need to rest. Just go to bed and try to sleep. And I said, no, I can't breathe. I need an ambulance. So she was, being a mom, naturally worried. What? You need an ambulance? Yes. And she's like, well, I could drive you there. And I said no, because I didn't have a wheelchair. Mom's house is not accessible, so I have to use forearm crutches there. I'm limited, very limited in the places that I can sit, so I cannot sit in anything in their waiting room. If I'm going to be sitting in their waiting room, I need this wheelchair that I'm sitting in right now, or else I just can't do it. I'll fall over, I'll fall side to side. And anyway, I was very concerned about my breathing. I wanted EMS to do vitals and such, and what if I need oxygen? Like, I reached the point of getting scared. So the ambulance was called. I barely even made it to their stretcher. My vertigo was so bad that I thought I was gonna fall. But the paramedics were great. They made sure I didn't fall. They made sure I got safely onto their stretcher and straight into the truck. Very often EMS gets called for seizure reasons, and I refuse to go with them. But this time I told them, no, I need transport. This is really bad. We got lucky. My blood pressure was okay. That's another story by itself, but the short version is that my blood pressure has not been stable lately. Sometimes it drops into dangerously low levels, and it means I need medical intervention. But the blood pressure was fine. My heart rate was elevated, and I had a fever, which I don't know why I didn't think to check my temperature. I really should have. With everything that was happening, I was surprised I didn't have seizures. I had a fever, I was sick, I was stressed out and afraid from being sick. It is a small wonder I did not have a seizure. Within getting there, they had me on a bed within a few minutes of arriving. And within a few minutes after that, the doctor was in the room. So in under an hour, I was told by the doctor what would need to happen and that I was going to be admitted. I cried a little bit about that. I hate hospital admissions, but they were very concerned with absolutely like everything that was going on. That this, by law I can refuse. I could have signed out and gone home, but why bother taking the ambulance if I'm not going to take the help being offered to me? So no, I wasn't happy about the admission, and I was crying a bit, and I said, no, I don't want to stay here, but I'm gonna do what you recommend. And the doctor said, I recommend you stay here because you need this, that, and the other thing. So they took a bunch of blood. I was getting physically sick, and I'm talking every few minutes. It wasn't getting better. It was getting worse and worse in frequency. And I said to the nurse, are they going to give me something for this? Because this is reaching the point of being ridiculous. Like, I literally can't stop. I'm not, like, there's no breaks happening at all. This is just, and they said, yes, they are. So they hooked me up to an IV and put something in the IV for that. And oh, sweet relief. Was I ever grateful for that. So I finally got a break that way. But from being sick so much, a bunch of other things in my blood levels dropped. And those are the levels of things that dropped also normally set off seizures. By some miracle it didn't. There were, 3 different things that they had to put in through the IV after the getting sick meds. So when that finished, I was low on 3 things. They said something about phosphorus, I think. Now, don't quote me on that one. I could be using the wrong word. But I know something, if it's not that specifically, something close to that word was used. Potassium was low. Magnesium was low. Potassium by IV hurts, and I was low into danger levels. I required 2 bags, so 2 hours. The pain just goes up your arm and through your chest. You can't get comfortable because it irritates the vein. So I put up with that for 2 hours. Wasn't getting any sleep. It hurt that much. My body was in pain from the fever and from being sick. ER stretchers are hard and uncomfortable, so I was getting pain from that too. So sleeping was not happening as much as I wanted it to. Sleeping would have been sweet relief, but that particular night, I didn't get any. Plus, I had them coming in and out to check and recheck vitals, to change IV bags. They felt that I was dehydrated, so they had me on saline on top of that. So I was, and then there's all the regular drugs that I get that I take. So there's a serious amount of drugs going on there. But they were really patient with me. I needed a lot more help and care than what I usually require. And they were very good. They were very patient about that. They eventually moved me to a room with its own bathroom because I needed to be isolated. They were very concerned about keeping me away from other patients. So they kept me in the emergency department. I didn't go upstairs to a normal room. And they kept me on that ER stretcher for the entire time I was there. I didn't complain about that. I wanted to ask if there's any way to be put onto a regular bed because this ER stretcher, even with my pain meds, was awful. But I didn't ask because they were being extra patient. One of my meds was missing, and this particular med, I had already missed the dose. And this particular medication breaks down quickly. So withdrawal happens fast. It's different in everyone, but with me it happens in under 12 hours of the missed dose. So, and I know what the symptoms are. I was very scared of what I was going to experience if I did not get a dose of this medication. The cure to all of those awful symptoms is a therapeutic dose of that medication. The nurse went above and beyond. She was faxing and calling the pharmacy left and right, doing everything she possibly could to get that medication to me so that I wouldn't get sick. I was so grateful to her. I said thank you so many times. I told her she was awesome. I told all of them they were awesome at one point. Everybody that looked after me, each different nurse, thanking them for their patience, for their assistance, for going above and beyond for that medication. They were being awesome. So because of that, I wasn't going to complain about the bed. It felt wrong at that point. So that one I had to kind of suck up. And so I was there for a few days. At first they said I had pneumonia. Then but then they downgraded it to chest infection and then changed it again to lung infection. Lung infection usually means pneumonia, but they had antibiotics, Yakult, more drugs, going through the IV every couple of hours for 48 hours. And then they stopped them. If it was a true pneumonia, I would not have bounced back so quickly. Stopping the antibiotics, I would have started to deteriorate again more. But I was showing improvements, which meant it was not a true pneumonia. And this was told to me by the doctor and the nurses. So it boiled down to lung infection. It did improve while I was there. I'm still clearing my throat a little bit. My lungs are not 100% healed, but as I always do when I get sick, I went big or go home, and boy did I ever. So I was just laying there trying desperately to get any sleep. Finally, when we got my meds all sorted out, I take night meds that put me to sleep, and eventually my body just went heavy. I felt like I was sinking into that awful ER stretcher, and I let it happen, and I finally fell asleep. I stayed asleep the whole night. Usually I wake up through the night, and after breakfast, I slept through the morning until lunchtime too, and I needed that so much. Grateful to my family for bringing my phone charger so that I could continue to text updates, but so I could use it to play games or watch videos and just otherwise keep myself occupied. Where I thought I had brought the right charger. I brought the plug for my light pad and not my phone charger. It was like, oh no. So the phone charger was brought to me, and shout out to my brother who came in here every day while I was gone to feed my cats and make sure that they were okay. So I was happy that they were looked after. It was wild. It was a wild time. I still wasn't well when I got home. In fact, I live alone, so they didn't want me to come straight back to my apartment. They wanted me to go. They said, is there any way you can stay at your mom's for a couple more days? Yep, shouldn't be a problem. They felt better releasing me into mama's care for a couple more days before coming to my apartment, and only because I live alone. I do have caregivers that come in, but they only come in at certain times and for specific things. So they do what they're here to do, and then they move on. I'm considered to live independently, but there's care staff in the building, so I have scheduled service times and I can call them when needed. But this wasn't within their job scope, and in case I did have a setback, there was nobody to see what was happening, because between services, I'm an adult living alone. So I spent the couple days at mama's. I was so happy to do a few things. I got her to shave my head. You should have, the state of me, I was a hot mess. 5 days with no shower. I smelled. My hair was greasy. It was gross. I didn't feel good in my own skin even. I got her to shave my head, save me $30 on a haircut that I needed anyway, which is the look you're seeing right now. Is it was long. Give you a little giggle. It was sticking out on like all sides, all the way around my head. I looked like some kind of funky cartoon scientist or something. It was so bad. And then once that was done, I had a shower adventure. We won't go into those details, but I sat on the floor because my brother I can't get in and out of a tub. So my brother has a stand-up shower in his bathroom. I can't stand up to shower, but I did sit cross-legged on the floor and brought the shower hose down. It was not a proper job, but it was better than having body odor, let me tell you that. And it sure felt good to rinse off properly, and like soap and water. Oh. And once that was done, the next thing I wanted was my diamond painting, and I'll talk about that in another video. But to get back to that felt good. The memory foam mattress that I sleep on over there, I sleep on one here too. It felt so good to get onto that. Mama's nice soft couch, just finally proper supportive surfaces for me to sit and lay on. So I still didn't have my wheelchair because I don't take it to Mom's, but I'm able to sit on her couch. She's got memory foam on the bed there that I sleep in. I've got memory foam on the bed here that I sleep in, and my muscles just let go. So I did need breakthrough pain meds for the first couple days on top of my regular meds just to get past the pain that ER stretcher caused. But it got better, so I'm back to normal. I will never ever be normal, and I'm not talking about my disability, I'm talking about me. And throughout the vlog, you'll get to know that, but that's been my life for, well, it was about a week and a half, because, it takes time to get sick, and then it got really, really bad, and, well, it's not really bad anymore. The odd little cough, the throat clearing that you're hearing now is normal. It happens. It's actually annoying me, so there's a spray I can use to make that go away when it annoys me or when it annoys other people. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna set myself back up to work on more diamond painting. I just started a new one and I'm excited. I'm gonna put a movie on to watch and I'm just gonna chill out until it's time for meds, and then until I feel the sleepiness from the meds, and back to sleepy land I go, and I'm just gonna chill out. So I will see you again next video. Lots of things I want to vlog about. So that's where I've been. You'll be seeing me again. Probably I'll be filming a video on Friday about, look for me Friday. I'm gonna film something about a vlog I want to try to do, little adventure that I'm gonna attempt. So I will film that. Ooh, this is Chester. I was about to stop recording because I know this, I've talked for a long time, but this is one of my cats. I've got 5. This is Chester, and Chester has decided to photobomb. Hi, Chester. Chester loves my lap. Hi, baby. Can you look over there? Can show everybody that adorable face. Ooh, there he is. Handsome boy. You want to come with me over there? We're going to stop the recording now. So I'm going to stop. This thing has a remote control thing that I should be able to use for pictures or for camera. I don't know why I can't get it working, so that's something to work on. It has its lights on. I have to look at the instructions to it or something. I don't know, but I'll figure that out. Because I've got this tripod I'm on, so I'll get that figured out. Hey, Chester, you want to give a final goodbye? Let's show your handsome face. Here, and we'll use this as the thumbnail too. Look at that adorable face. Even his eyes are orange. His nose is orange. He's purring. You're adorable. But we're going to stop now. Chester says good night, and I'll see you next video. Please give me a like to help me get into the algorithm. Leave questions or comments, and I will see you again next video.